Welcome to your village, and thanks for agreeing to talk to us and to talk to this project, which seeks to bring us closer to Molyvos and to northern Lesbos, as we try to understand its history, culture, but also its present and how present inhabitants engage with that past. Just to start things off, and with no specific order, so jump in as you feel. Can you just introduce yourselves? And if I may ask, where were you born? Unless it's a secret that needs to remain hidden. And when did you move to Molyvos?
Okay,
Tara?
sure. So I'm Tara McClure, and I was born on Vancouver Island, Canada, in Comox. Um, when did I come here? I came here in 2008, was it? 2009. I'm looking at you because we can't tell. I think I moved here in 2009. So I've been here since then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Eleonora Pauwels, and I'm born in Holland, in the Netherlands, in Eindhoven, 58 years ago. And I just counted, I'm 30 years on the island now.
Oh, 30 years.
Yeah,
Wow.
30 years. So, yeah.
Nice.
And I'm Ilia. I am originally from the Texas Hill Country. And I've been coming to the island every year since 2017, but I officially have been living here for about 2 years now.
So, if I may ask, what do you do for work? If you work, is it different from what you did when you were what you were doing before you came to Molyvos?
Sure. Yeah.
Currently, I'm working teaching English as a second language online. And that is a bit different than what I was doing previously. I was a nanny before I moved here, and I was just full-time with the kids. And I've done casual babysitting here, but my stable income here is teaching.
Okay. Tara?
So I was still in university when I first came here. And my plan was that I studied education and I studied psychology, and I was going to teach children with different learning abilities. But then I moved here, and with the language barrier, it was a little bit hard to teach kids with dyslexia or autism if I didn't speak Greek fluently, and I wasn't fluent yet. So I started teaching English, and actually I've been doing that ever since. I still do that now. So. Yeah.
If I may ask a follow-up question on that, because you raised something interesting.
Yeah.
Since being here, did you have a chance to observe or think about your original plan in the local community and how the local community engages with these questions?
Yes, it's interesting because it's only recently that people are becoming more aware and more accepting of these different kinds of learning abilities. Like dyslexia is quite common here, very common. Behavioral things like ADD, ADHD, also quite common. We have a center in Medellin that they've started referring children to go be tested for these types of things, and we have one school in Kaluni where some kids can go to. It's slowly becoming more accepted and taken care of. In my own classroom, I see it all the time, and I just deal with it in my way without even really saying much to the parents at all. So,
Okay.
yeah.
No, I had to ask.
Yeah.
Because this is really such an interesting
It's true.
kind of field.
Yeah.
No?
I came here 30 years ago as a tourist representative. And before that, I also was working as a tourist representative for Dutch companies. But I worked in Austria. I lived 4 years. I lived 2.5 years in Cyprus as well. I left Holland when I was 21. Traveled a lot in between. And then as a tourist representative, I ended up here. But I have a passion for photography. And that comes from my father, from my grandfather, the dark rooms. I was in there all the time as a young kid, and as a very young child I already got my camera. So in the end, after a long ways, other work, other jobs, I ended up being a photographer what I am now, but I do work with tourists as well. I do a lot of work as a photographer. So I also give seminars. I take people on workshops outside, walking, hiking with a jeep, etc.
Yeah, I have to say that just perusing the internet and looking for access to Molivos, I find that sometimes the key to Molivos is your photography. And,
Yeah.
Thank you.
So true.
Such a critical
So
kind
true.
of approach to the place, because
Especially after 2015, when tourism here, of course, went completely down and nobody wanted to come here anymore. I gave a lot of my pictures I promoted myself constantly, but I also gave a lot of my pictures to the DIMO, the periferia, I don't even know the English names for that, etc. For foreigners, just to help them to take my pictures, to promote the island, to get tourism back. So that's probably why you see them a lot.
to translate just for an audience,
Yes.
Dimos is municipality,
Yes.
Periferia is kind of regional administrative
Provincial province.
Yeah.
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 And Foreas is a local organization,
Yes,
grassroots,
association.
that deals with
Yeah.
questions of tourism, but also of
Organizes events as well. Yeah.
Exactly.
Promotes also. Yeah.
So now, okay, with you we have a sample of people who have come and settled in Molivos, but you are a fraction of.
Yes.
Of course.
There are a lot of us.
Yes. Oh, the last
So,
years, huh?
Yeah.
Do you feel comfortable to give us a bit of the lay of the land? I mean, roughly how many more people, if you have a sense, and backgrounds.
To be honest with you, I didn't even know that you are here for 2 years already. I mean, it's really ridiculous. I'm looking at you. What? You're 2 years here already?
Yeah.
No.
Even in the winter.
Yeah, I haven't seen you. Yeah, can you imagine? So you have to take that in account that
Yeah.
we have our own environment. You have,
Yeah.
of course, Facebook. You see people come, you see people go. But I don't think I know. But we come to the point that I don't know all the foreigners yet
Yeah.
anymore here in Molivos, even Petra.
Yeah. I couldn't even make a guess as to how many of us there are. And
I know that the Dutch community grew. We have
Yeah.
quite a lot of young girls as well again who fell in love and now are steady relationships, children even.
Yeah.
But I also noticed that since COVID, a lot of people want to leave Holland and they actually, after 65, 67,
Yeah.
they come here and they stay 8 months here and 4 months in Holland.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That happens
Yeah.
more and more and more, and I have more people asking as well for houses, etc.
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
this thing. Yeah.
Exactly. A lot of people wanting to just move after retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it isn't just
not-
women coming to marry the young men anymore.
No.
And of course, we still have Albanian immigrants who came here,
That too.
decades ago for work.
Yep.
This
Yes.
Yes.
So that's also a
Yeah.
portion of the
And
population.
since Bulgaria is also a part
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
here, it's for Bulgarians now as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that community, I have no idea how big that is.
Yeah.
I was informed in 2018 by someone who seemed to know what she was talking about that we had 75 voting foreigners in the village. I have no way of verifying that information. I don't know how that number has changed since 2018. And who knows how many of us are not qualified to vote. Or
Mm.
So, and you mentioned she and your women. There is a gender imbalance here, or am I imagining it?
I would say yeah.
There could
It's
be,
mainly
yes.
women.
Yes.
There are men too.
There are some men
Yes,
too.
There are some men too. Yeah. They probably came with their wives though.
Yeah.
No. There are some men on their own too. But
There's a few.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I think that you can say that 70% for sure is women.
I think that's fair.
I think it's fair to say.
And especially in a smaller place like Molivos, the idea of the xenos or the outsider is not necessarily an idea of the foreigner. It could be even someone who moves from other places.
Even when you come from
in Greece.
Mytilene, even
Yeah.
when you come from Mytilene to live here in Molivos,
Yes.
you're still
Yeah.
Yes.
Xen.
So,
Yeah.
Xen.
so is there also a certain number of people from mainland or from the island who have moved here relatively recently? Is there still such a flow that you notice, or
From Greek people,
yeah,
from
Greek people
from
moving here?
there are some
There's
coming
some.
actually.
There are
Yeah.
some. Yeah. Moving here, I would say there are many of them that are coming back to fix up their family homes
Yeah.
and try to spend
With
more
the idea
time. Yeah.
after retirement,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
coming back.
Our future. I mean, Nicole and I.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
well, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like most of the Greek people that move here, though, it's because they got married to someone who has a family connection here,
Mhm.
and there's already housing for them. There's already
Yes.
job opportunities.
Mm.
I don't think I haven't met a lot of Greek people moving here from Athens or Thessaloniki, other places, just
Without the
out of the
connection.
blue
Yeah.
without a connection.
So, with a bit of a kind of change of theme, when you came to Lesbos, what did you know about this place? I guess its history.
Shall I kick off? Huh?
You-
So you
Go
don't
for
feel
it.
bad.
Go for it.
All right. I was living in Austria at the time, and I had a very nice job, but I was the last one who came in, and they had to become smaller, and I was the first one to be kicked out. So I quickly needed a job for the summer. I was a bit fed up with men and all this kind of thing, and then I called the company which I used to work for, and they said, "Oh, the only thing we have for you is Lesbos." I said, "Okay, I know it's a Greek island. Probably a lot of women there." That was the only thing I was thinking. That's going to be perfect for me. So that was really when I decided to come here for work. It was the only thing I knew. Of course, as soon as I knew that I was going to come here, I was starting to read up, which was quite difficult at that time because there was no Dutch book about it. I had a German book that I had to read for that. But yeah, at the moment I decided, I didn't know anything about it, except I looked up where it was, and yeah, Sappho was the first thing that came in mind.
Well, there's a Wikipedia page at least.
Well, there was no internet then 30
Yeah,
years
oh, yeah,
ago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is still the old way, encyclopedias and things like this.
Wow. I have to say somewhat similar. I didn't know much about the island. I first came here just for a few days as a tourist in 2017, in November. Everything was closed. Everything was quite
So how does a
peaceful.
tourist? Who advertises November in Lesbos?
Nobody, but
no one.
a lot of American tourists I noticed on the internet as well. They have no idea.
They
They said,
don't
"Oh, we're
know.
planning to coming
They
from
have no
January
idea.
until March
They have
to
no
Greece,"
idea.
and I was like,
Are you stupid?
"To the islands."
My brother and I were traveling in November, and we just had a gap in our schedule. And we're like, let's go to Greece. And we were in Athens and Thessaloniki, Ikaria, Molyvos, and that's when I fell in love with Molyvos, in November, in the winter, when it's closed, when
Okay.
everything is peaceful and
It's the
quiet,
best way.
and you can really feel the energy. But before coming here, the only thing I knew was that the island was, as you said, the birthplace of Sappho. So I was aware of that. And I think I'd done just a quick little search and found, okay, there's an ancient castle. And if you go to Eftalou, you can find, the hammam that's from the Ottoman Empire. And that was about it. That was about as far as my research went.
Well, you guys are very shy about that, but you literally knew so much more than I did. I didn't even know the island existed. I'd never heard of it before. Nothing. I was walking down the hallways of SFU at the university, and I saw this big sign that said, "Go to Greece for the summer," or something like that. And I thought, why not? I do want to do that. And I thought, no, we can't do that. I can't do that. And then I was talking to one of my friends who I actually grew up with her. I've known her since kindergarten. She was on the field school the year before, which was the very first field school that Dimitri brought here. And I just ran into her in the hallway one day. No one else was in the hallway. I was just wandering, taking a walk and thinking, and boom, there's Zoe. And, "Oh, I went to Greece last year. You need to go. You really need to do this. It's so much fun. And you're gonna love it." So I said, okay. So I put in an application. I met Dimitri. He told me it was Lesbos. I said, cool.
Okay.
I don't know where that is. So then I went home and I Googled everything, and I was like, okay, so great. And now I've been living here for how many years?
I don't
Without
feel so
even
bad
knowing.
anymore.
Yeah, don't feel bad. I literally never even heard of it. And then people were saying to me, "Where are you going?" Lesbos.
But maybe it's
Where all
the
the
best way
lesbians are,
also.
they say. And
Yeah.
I didn't even understand that.
And I thought, cool, no man, yay! But isn't it the best way actually to start then? Because it's if you now you can look up everything on internet, you can see all
Yeah.
the pictures and everything.
Yeah.
All the surprises are gone.
It's true.
All the
It's true.
experiences are gone.
Yeah.
It's amazing
would
to
have.
go into it with almost no
Yeah.
expectations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought so.
Absolutely.
One of the reasons I'm asking is that as we look at kind of earlier times in Lesbos, we and in the seminar we're running at SFU as we were preparing to come here, you could see that for many of the early travelers to Lesbos coming from Western Europe, they had this kind of mythical view of
Yes.
the island that would come partially from Sappho and then from Thucydides or whoever, Theophrastus, Aristotle, whoever they would read, and there is this the classical past brings us to this place, and of course then you face something completely different.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you have to deal with that. So that's partially why I was asking this question. Now, you're here. And we talked a bit about others who are also here and settled. Do you think is there a type of person who moves to Moldovos? Could you distill it in some fashion?
There's a type of person that stays in Molivos.
Yeah, that's.
There are so many people who move here and move back after 1 or 2 years
Yeah.
because they think that they will love the Molivos which they see in summer, and they
Yes.
don't realize how it is also in winter.
Exactly.
And they also don't realize that if you are living here, you work in summer. It's completely different of being on holidays here.
Yes.
And people are very easy these days just to say like, oh yeah, but I can't stand Holland anymore. I'm packing my things. I'm finding this online job or I'm going to work in one of the bars and I'm moving. Okay, in the summer they find out that they work many more hours for much less money, and that is not so easy, and that they don't have too much free time. They stay maybe one winter, one more summer, and most of the time that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the ones that are really staying for many, many more years, yes, I think it is a certain kind of people. It is people who can appreciate the big difference between the summer and the winter, that also really enjoy the winter. The quietness, the nature, just to be out, to be with your own family, to be even on your own. It's a different kind of people. I couldn't last in Holland anymore, I think, for a whole year or something.
I would have a difficult time.
I
going
would
back
have
to
a
Vancouver.
very difficult time.
Very
Yeah.
difficult. It's like summer. You have to have your extroverted side
Yeah.
very much on point, but
Yeah.
then winter, the introvert
Yeah.
is because you have so much time on your own.
Yeah.
And not everybody
And-
can do that.
Not everybody can do that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I actually prefer the winter. I think it's the most spectacular time here.
Mm.
And the most authentic time here,
Yeah.
to be honest. But yeah, not everybody can do that for too long. A lot of people want to see
entertained.
more, yes, do
Yeah.
more, have
Yeah.
more people around, but if you're happy to have your close friends over or friends over for dinner on a Friday night, and you sit and play card games, or you go for hikes in the
Yeah.
mountains on the weekends, and you like that kind of thing,
Yeah.
then winter here is absolutely beautiful. So
I think that when we visit in the summer, I feel like parachutists from another world invading your village. We often talk with you guys, and the response we get is just come in the winter.
yes,
Come in the winter so that we
Do.
have the time
So we can
to spend
see you.
together and
Yeah.
see you and not
Yeah.
have to think about whatever else is happening.
yes.
Yeah.
So this is really an interesting reality, and it fits, of course, with kind of this notion of seasonality and of changing seasons, but also changing economic seasons. I mean, this
Yeah.
was a place that before being touristy was agricultural, right?
Yes.
And it had
Yes.
its own agricultural
Yes.
seasons, and
Yeah.
with time available and time not available, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's true.
So, how do people from outside the island find ways to fit into the local economy and community? I mean, Eleanor, you already explained that you came here almost dispatch, Dutch tourists.
In 1 month time, I was here. Yeah,
Yeah.
after my decision. Yeah.
Once one is here, how easy is it to navigate? Finding a job, getting plugged into things. I mean, you teach as a second language, but you said you're online.
Online, yeah.
Are you looking to connect this locally?
I have worked in the village before,
Mhm.
in the service industry, in the tourism industry, and I think how easy it is to get connected. It has a lot to do with the people that you meet when you arrive. Greek culture does seem to be very. There's a word for this, and I can't. It's right on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember what it is.
Philoxenia.
No, it's the English word I'm looking for. It's like you got to know somebody who knows somebody.
Yeah.
You have to know someone who knows someone, or you're not going anywhere. You're not getting any jobs. You're not
You have
finding
to
a house
get into
to live.
your network.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean, that's.
You have to get connected.
I have to say that
locally.
it's a word I think that the Greeks invented.
Cronyism. Cronyism is the
Yeah.
word in English.
Mhm.
Cronyism is very prevalent in Greek culture, and every Greek person has their cronies that they are connected with. And if you are so fortunate as an outsider to kind of get plugged into one of those networks, you're going to be fine.
Mhm.
You'll be fine. They will find you a house. They will find you a job. They will say, like, go hang out with these people for coffee.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. If you are not connected with that group, it's really hard
Mhm.
Yeah.
to do anything here.
I mean, you could walk into
You can.
a job that's advertising. They're looking for somebody
Yeah.
to work, and yeah, they'll probably take you, especially now
But that's
because
also another way to get connected.
it
It's
is.
like you apply for a job online, you have a good energy, you walk in, you fit, and then through your job, they will connect you with like housing. They will connect you with, maybe you'll start making pareja with the people that you're working with. You'll start hanging out with those people. So it does grow in that way. You can definitely get connected, but it's hard if people don't like you.
I think it has very much to do also how you approach the people here. If you approach people here like I'm the foreigner and I know, etc., etc.,
Yeah.
you can forget it.
Yeah.
If you approach the people here with a
Humbly.
really big amount of respect
Yeah.
of what they are and who they are and how they live,
Yeah.
and you also it's not only respect, you show interest for it as
Yes.
well, and you don't want to come here and live your Dutch way here, but you really want to involve in what they're doing in the village, this, that, then you get connections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found that with some people here, I came 30 years ago as a tourist representative. And it was very normal then that as a tourist representative, you were making deals in the village with restaurants, with shops, whatever, that you would get your commission, your extra money. I never ever did that because I hate that system. I never ever did that. And with that, I got so much respect from a lot of people because they saw that I wasn't doing it. And still now, they are like, after 30 years, my biggest friends. They would give everything to me if I would ask for it. I will not ask for it because that's another one, but they would.
Yeah.
They would.
Yeah.
It's very, very important. They're very proud of their home, this place, their families, their roots, everything. If you give respect to that and interest in learning about that and that you want to be a part of that, then you're fine.
I do think integration is important, definitely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I,
for sure.
I, what you describe, carries, I think, even beyond the kind of foreign people coming here. I have a sense that coming to Molivos as someone with origins from Molivos, but from Athens for vacations, I was always an outsider.
Yeah.
The moment that I brought the field school in Molivos, which meant that I had to build relationships to make this work.
Yeah.
But also so that I could relate the Molivos experience to the students in a more authentic way. At that stage, I started being accepted as someone who, hey, Dimitri's back.
Yes.
who was relevant.
Yeah.
And not only Dimitri's back, and he takes people who, because he wants to show who we are
Exactly.
and what we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
the more important thing.
And
Yeah.
that's been critical. And I
Yeah.
remember the first years when you were Tara, when you had come. When we returned the second year, it was
It's
and
not just
coming
one thing.
early in June.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So I remember this it sounds very cheesy, this statement, you have come, and it's like the swallows have arrived. So the season, that
Yes.
season,
Yeah.
and you come in
Yes.
early, and
Yeah.
there was something really positive about
Yeah.
that experience
Yes.
of arriving in the place.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so you're here. You described the ways of engaging and fitting in. What is your sense of identification with the place? I mean, do you become a bit of a Molivos person who bands with the other Molivos people against the annoying outsiders? What is the process of acquiring, let's say, the local identity?
Sometimes we might do that, in August when it's full of Athenians and it's loud and it's hot and it's, oh God, we need a break. But no, how to answer that one?
Well, I think I can give an example. We still have, by the way, I wanted to say, God, we didn't get rid of him yet. Mr. Mitsotakis. He came to this terrific idea of building this huge camp here on the island.
I was thinking about that
Yes,
too. Okay,
and that was a moment that I was sitting at home, and we went the whole island went. You probably have seen that on the streets and fought the military police that Mr. Mitsotakis sent us. And you at home, and you think by yourself, should I go? Should I not go? It's dangerous to go. I know it's dangerous to go, but this is my island. I'm against this as well. I should stand with the people from here.
Yes.
I mean, and I went. Of course I went. I was 2 days there. I took my pictures as well, etc., to bring it into the news and to make the world know what we were doing and what we were fighting for. But the second day I was on the other side, on the Maramaro side, and there was this guy coming up and he started screaming at me and he said, "You are Mikion, you are NGO
NGOs,
because you're blonde and this, and what are you taking pictures?" And nobody could stop him. He almost... It was like, all right. And this is the thing. I think this is where it comes back to. Yes.
It depends on who you have in front of you.
I am part of the community, but I'm still Xeni.
Yeah.
And I will always be Xeni.
Yeah.
And I don't mind.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can accept it. There are some people who will look at you as someone who is part of this place.
Yeah.
I have 3 children. My children go to school here. They were born here. I teach here. Many of the families, I'm their English teacher, so I become a part of their families. Many of these people will look at me as part of this community, but there will always be people who will look at me as a foreigner, and that's okay. I feel like this is my home. This is my home. I've been here for a long time. Actually, I get a little emotional.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is. Yeah.
But yeah, what you were talking about there, that when we had to go and stand up and say we don't want this, it wasn't a question. It was very dangerous. It was very dangerous to go, but we went and we stood together to say, no, we will not do this to our community. And we won for a while.
So, I mean, I'm really fascinated by what you just expressed, this idea that I am part, I'm not part, I will always be treated or mostly be treated as a xenos or an outsider, but I'm okay with it. And the Dimitri who grew up in Greece, who wanted Greece to be more open and perhaps a more, I don't know, like Canada in that sense, where you're hyphenated Canadianness is mostly unquestioned,
Yeah.
though we have our dark.
Definitely.
Almost feels shocked by this because it is the acceptance of an almost non-belonging while you also belong.
Yes.
For me to be accepted as a foreigner, as to be totally inside the village, no, you come to a certain level. You hit your heads, I say always. As it with all the women as well, which I really tried with, and I really can say I still have a very good contact with. I get until a certain level, but I cannot talk to them or have the same conversations with them like I have with some of my Dutch friends here.
Yes.
Which I fell back on then.
Yeah.
I tried, but it's just not possible because it is a closed community. But that's also, again, I have to respect that.
Yes. And actually,
It's-
I think I came like with the acceptance is just having compassion and understanding
Yeah.
of where they've
Where they're
come
from.
Yeah.
and how it isn't as multicultural as Canada is.
No.
They didn't have those opportunities.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law, even my parents-in-law, I think my mother-in-law's been to Turkey once. She's been to Athens a few times, but only because her sons had to go to the hospital. She hasn't been anywhere. She told me when I married Andonis that she understood me because she also had to leave her family home. She's from Lepetimnos. It's 30 minutes away.
Yeah. But you see what that for them, Lepetimnos was
That's a
the
big
other side of the
step.
world.
Yeah.
It was
Big
like
step.
another country for them.
I think
Yeah.
for me it makes sense though. I do come from a multicultural country, the United States, the melting pot of the world, but I grew up in a town that is also a very closed community and has a very small population. And my family ethnicity, our ancestry is German. The whole town's ancestry is German. And my ancestors were some of the founding families of that town. And, okay, it's a very young town. It's from the middle of the 1800s. We don't have the history of Molivos. But I know what it's like to grow up in a family with this idea of, oh, we're special because this is our place. And people coming in, they're the outsiders. So I know what it's like to be an insider. I know the nuance of what that feels like. And coming here, I more have a sense of gratitude for the level to which I have been welcomed, to the level to which I have been given philoxenia, hospitality, and acceptance. And I'm okay with the fact that I will never be Greek. I know that. I can't live here for however long. You've been here 30 years and you're not walking around saying, oh, I'm a local.
I cannot because I'm not born here.
Exactly.
I don't have Greek blood.
And that's okay. That's okay. There's nuance in that.
Yeah.
And there's
That's
nothing wrong
absolutely
with that
fine.
nuance. It's okay to be grateful for what you have and then to find connections that maybe fill in the gaps where, maybe you don't feel that soul-to-soul connection with someone maybe in a way that you would want, but then you find other connections maybe with other foreigners in the village.
And at the same time, you all pointed out something which actually has a history in the social sciences as an analysis. I mean, Greece is almost like this kind of segmented type of society where you have relationships built from bottom to top, but within a family or a friendship or a small cluster of people, as opposed to a society where communication is across the civil society level. And it may be that this finding through work, you said parea, your group of people for having fun or relaxing, then creates your own little cluster.
Yeah.
And within that cluster, the foreignness gets forgotten because at that stage you become part of the family. And that is an interesting way to think about questions of integration and questions of...
The funny thing is that even when we're talking, I already realized this, is that we ourselves don't realize how much Greek we became until we go abroad and you go home.
Yes.
Because, my language is like, if I speak with my daughter, who is half Greek, we speak this Greek, English, Dutch together. It's very interesting.
Greeklish,
There's a lot of Greek words in the way that we speak with each other. It's not just the words. I see my hands now. I speak with my hands.
Yeah.
My parents, but they're always surprised when I say, because I do everything with my hands.
Yes, my
and that's
parents-
something really, really Greek.
It is. Yeah, I do the same thing. And my parents make fun of me when I ask questions. Because obviously when we ask questions in English, the tone goes up at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Shall we go to the movies?
Oh, yeah.
In Greek, it goes down.
Yeah.
Shall we go to the movies? And then
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's
Are you
another
asking
thing.
me? Or are you
What?
telling
What do
me?
you mean? Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We
That's,
have the same job with my partner Nicole. I mean,
yeah. Oh, yeah. I can
that
imagine.
way of intonation in the question is just
Yeah.
you know. Oh, I'm traveling to Greece. It's happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just as to wrap this up, I mean, this has been wonderful. What would you say you miss the most from home when you're here? From the other home, if I
From
may
the
say.
other home. I do, yes. I have 2 homes.
From the motherland.
From the motherland. Very lucky to have 2 homes. I think really I miss, if I could just pick up my whole family and transport them here, tell come and live here, that would be perfect. And if I was being cheeky and could have anything I want, I would like some more snow.
Oh, I totally agree with you.
I miss snowboarding.
Oh wow.
I agree with you that area. I don't know because I'm away from Holland such a long time now. I can't say about food or anything like this. I also realized 2 years ago when I went back to Holland again and I suddenly was somewhere and I thought, okay, I know for sure now I cannot live here anymore. This is not my place anymore. The whole mentality changed. The people changed. What I miss is more memories. It's my Netherlands, my Holland from when I was living there. That's what I'm missing. I miss my family, definitely I do. For me, it's closer by than for you, of course. So it's easy for me to go and see my daughter who studies in Holland now, and my father, etc. And I was for the first time now in springtime again in Holland because normally I work spring. So it was end of April. And I suddenly realized how beautiful Holland is. It was green. There were flowers everywhere. We were taking the touristic routes. And normally when I'm in Holland, the only thing I do is visiting family. So you go very fast from one point to the other to try to visit them all. And then you go back again. I have to reserve 1 day for myself because I want to go and see something. So this time I had my husband, I have to say now, because we got married, with me. And I said, okay, I want a few days for ourselves and I want to show you the Holland that I actually miss. And we took the touristic route and I suddenly realized how beautiful it is, but still I cannot live there anymore. So that's something, what you say, the winter, after the last 2 winters, I really said to Lev, I said, oh my God, I wish we could have 1 or 2 weeks cold, freezing cold, and snow and ice.
Despite the fact that the pipes burst.
I don't mind.
No
I know I will be 2 weeks without water, but it doesn't
that was
matter. I have
awful.
jerry cans and I'll survive. It's
We'll
just
make it work.
anytime there's some little snow here on the island, I'm the first one who goes at 5 o'clock in the morning with the car to go there, you know.
It's so exciting for all of us, though. I mean, the kids are just go nuts.
I would never think that I would miss that,
Yeah.
but I do.
Oh, yeah.
I do. Yeah.
That's so interesting. Being from Texas, we don't get a lot
You
of
don't have
snow.
snow.
So
You
you're
miss
just
the oil wells.
I'm from the hill country area, so it is a very
Really?
beautiful natural area.
Yeah.
We don't have so much oil there. We're more of an agricultural area. I think if we had really cold winters, I would leave in the winter, definitely.
No.
That's not my scene.
Oh, wait. Come back.
But I'll be back.
We are praying
I'll
for
be
it
back.
every day.
But what I miss the most is just my people. I have, very cherished family members and friends that, video calls are great, but it's not the same as being able to call someone at midnight and saying, hey, can you come over? I just, I need a hug.
Right.
And I have that here, and that's great. That's amazing. But
Yeah.
we need our whole community. We need everyone in our lives. So I miss my people. And honestly, I really miss Mexican food. Like, I really miss Texas barbecue and Mexican food. It's really hard to find cilantro here.
Yeah.
And I don't have a knack for gardening, so I've killed every cilantro plant that I've tried to grow here.
I'll
What do you
grow
miss?
some for you.
What you-
Cilantro.
Green coriander.
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 Yeah.
I know, shop in Mytilene. I'm a big fan.
Okay.
I go to Mytilene Monday, I will get for you.
Please do.
We'll set you up. Don't worry.
There's
So
only
we
one.
have a niche business opportunity.
I
there
have all
for-
the other spices with me. That's
for
the only
Texan
thing.
barbecue
Yes.
or
Yeah,
something.
because
That
I
would be
can
very
I tried to
do
grow
it.
it myself
I
as
have
well,
my
but
own
it
chili
just
powder. I
didn't
have my own
work.
Mexican
Oh,
cumin. I have my own Mexican oregano that I bring with me in my suitcase. I've got 9 bottles of hot sauce in my house.
Maybe you won't be a teacher for much longer. We'll see.
I'll just start a
Ilia's
Mexican restaurant.
Mexican restaurant
Oh
pop
yeah.
Could
I'll be
be.
there.
Burritos, tacos,
Mm. Oh,
barbacoa.
and and this is how you change a place.
Yeah, no, we don't want that. We don't want that.
We
You
don't
can do
wanna
some
change.
private cooking
We
in the
don't-
winter. We will come.
Exactly. I invite friends over for dinner, but I don't want to change the culture here. Definitely.
I really thank you so much for giving us your time and coming here to share your experience. I think it is the kind of experience that makes our project richer and make the understanding of this place richer. As part of what we've been studying, one of the things that we realize is that yes, there is a certain local culture that has certain parameters, and it feels as if it is monocultural, but there are also absences. I mean, this place, especially Moldova, had a 30% Turkish population, and it was part of its history. Perhaps the new expat communities, though not in the guise of conquerors, are bringing the place back to a situation where a dialogue might be happening a bit more in the way that it was happening up to 100 years ago. Again, thank you so much for being here. And,
Thank you very
Thank
much
you
for
for
inviting. It
having
was
us.
very
Yes,
interesting
thank
as
you.
well
Yeah.
because it was interesting to listen to your stories as well.